What's going on, my fellow cheers and my faithful members of the D Clan? I'm back with another one with One Piece, chapter 1158. 1158. We are here. Yes. Rocks versus Harold. Starts off with the beautiful cover page. Have Yamato and Kiku. And this beautiful cover page. Look at there at a shrine, paying homage here. So we turn the page. You have Roger here. He's pretty much in a dump because Rayleigh went ahead, came clean, and told him, say, hey man, back when we was talking with Shocky, last time we saw her, man, she slipped your boy this note, you know what I'm saying, come and get her. But Roger, you good? I don't like her. I mean, I like her, but I'm falling back, man, because you like her. So, Roger is like, well, come on. What's up with that? You mean to tell me you're not turned on by the lease? And Rayleigh kept it 100 with him. Rayleigh says, look, it's not that I don't like her. It's just that I don't want to be tied down right now. So, look, guys, when you got a friend like that keeping it real with you, you can't do nothing but respect that. You understand what I'm saying? So, Roger, he does not ready to give up yet because, Shocky, obviously, she likes Ray. You know what I'm saying? Or Ray. But, Roger just got to come to terms with it. But, hey, at least he's not too quick to give up, So he tells his boys on the ship, he said, hey, y'all get ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give up. Them boys say, attaboy, Roger. The crew, he has such a great crew, that they're egging him on, like encouraging him not to give up. The power of love, man, the power of love. So Roger tells the guys, go ahead. Guys, you go ahead and eat your fill. Dinner is ready. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set out. Well, the scene changes after that. And we see old Saint Figurine Garland talking with the 5 elders. Old back over there in Mary Joa. And he's telling the elders, hey, look here. I found something great that I think Emu will be pleased. The great one, that's what they call it, the great one will be pleased. The elders were like, look, Garland. Now, the contest that we just had on that island previously is over with. Okay, it's over with. He said, yes, but I already found a place where we're going to do the next one. So, I think the great one will be pleased. And they said, all right, Garland. We'll run it up. We'll run it up the chain of command. Then the scene switches, and we are back on Pirate Island. We have old Shocky, and she's serving the guys some drinks. And some of these guys are, telling her, hey, you're the reason why some of us even decided to become pirates because we always wanted to meet you. We're big fans. We hear that, your cooking is amazing. And she shuts the guy down and said, look, I'm not cooking for the likes of you. I said, oh, come on, Shaq. My man said he wanted, at least cook him and tell him, man, thanks for, for your fandom. But she doesn't care less. She doesn't make that money. And she there to get on through. And Shaki, I ain't mad at you, So, her whiskey is world famous. He said, man, I heard you're world famous. And so somebody comes in and tell her, they say, Shaki, hey, you ran out of, out of whiskey. She was like, go get the cheap rum instead. And then she's still serving it. Your whiskey is ready. I said, oh, hey, make your money, girl. I'm mad at you. Shaki talk about something she know how to finesse the system. And she should be able to know how to finesse, man. All them boys be in love with her and all that kind of carry on. Only thing I don't like about Shaki, y'all, is the fact that she smokes cigarettes. Other than that, she's a 10 out of 10. We see Rocks up there with his crew. He's there with Big Mom and Whitebeard. And it was like, hold on now, Shaki, she sees the change. She's like, wait a minute now, your eyes ain't for me anymore. What's going on? You got another woman? And so Big Mom starts laughing. Mama. That laugh she does. And she said, yeah, a woman's intuition rocks, even Shaggy know you got something going on, another piece on the side. And Rocks just cut her off and said, hey, that's supposed to be kept a secret now. Keep that on the low. So after he says that, Roger arrives on the scene in the bar and says, Shaggy, I'm here to confess my love, baby. Well, you know I love you. I'm here to come get you, girl. Come on. Then you see Roger and Rocks collide headbutt. And Rocks is laying down the law. And so he's like, Roger, how many times I got to tell you? This is my island. Huh? And Roger's like, yeah, but this is Shaky's bar. Shocky say, no business to be conducted on continental grounds. Oh, wait a minute, wrong show. He said, yeah, no pirate business to be conducted in her bar, remember? So shut it, Porcupine. Man, I was crying, laughing. He calls Rocks Porcupine. Oh, man. Boy, and I was thinking, Rocks maybe would have had a comeback. You know what I'm saying? Call him Big Forehead or some, or whatever the case may be. But no. Then you have Rocks. Like, matter of fact, Roger, didn't you see the line outside? How you get in here? Did you wait the whole time? And Roger was like, oh, there was a line? Oh, I just came back in. Well, what happened was, guys, if in case you don't know, Roger's Conqueror's hockey knocked everybody out outside. You remember when Shanks walked onto Whitebeard's ship and everybody just started passing out, falling out? That's the same that happened. He didn't beat those guys up. At least I don't let to believe that. He didn't beat those guys, those pirates up that was waiting to walk in. His energy, that Conqueror's hockey, knocked everybody out. That's all that was. So he was able to, just walk right on in. So when Shaki sees Roger, she was like, oh, hey, Roger, So Roger, where's Ray Lee? And Roger is like, yeah, I told him to come, you know what I'm saying? But he said he ain't feeling well. So he said he's going to go on, get his rest on the ship, he back on the ship getting his rest there. And Shaq is like, our whole content on her face just changed. Like, dang, that man ain't come see me. That's right. Shoot. Really said he ain't ready to be tied down. He'll come see you when he ready, doggone it. Well, the scene changes here, and we see King Harold and Rocks fighting. And the Conqueror's hockey that's bursting, the energy that's bursting from their fight. And it's knocking both Loki and Harrogen back. And they're holding on to trees for dear life. I think it might have blew them all the way down to the underworld. And so remember the previous chapter, 1157, the 5 elders gave Harold an ultimatum. If you want to become part of the world government, kill Rocks. So now he's fighting Rocks. But I don't think he's fighting with the intent to kill Rocks. I believe he's fighting because, of course, if you want to become part of the world government, you're going to be monitored. Okay? The world government has the kingdom of Elbath on the observation because that's how they know. But I believe that there is a rat among Rocks' crew. It has to be. Because just like the previous chapter, when they did that raid on that island, when they were stealing that money from the other old geezers, right? There was like, Whitebeard said, how did the world government get here so fast? It ain't making sense. You know what I'm saying? And Rocks was like, yeah, that does make sense. But anyway, sink them. And not only do you sink them, we're going to plunder everything the Navy has. So this chapter now, King Harold and Rocks are fighting. And they're also, Rocks is fed up. He's like, Rocks is like, Harold, how are you going to become a lapdog for the government? What about your warrior's pride? Huh? What about your warrior's pride to be let them use you like that, Harold? And now you're fighting me to appease them. You're gonna try to take out me, turn on your friend, just become the world government's lapdog. You're gonna turn on me and I'm your friend and I'm rocking for you, dog? So King Harold is like, man, look, it's no offense to you, Rocks, but the celestial dragons have the power to change the country of Elbaf, and we can work for the better good. Now, I totally disagree with King Harold. I understand his logic. You know what I'm saying? I understand his logic, but to turn on your friend for the benefit and the betterment of your people and of your country. Ooh, I don't know if I ought to make the same. I don't know. I'm not in those shoes. You know what I'm saying? But I totally disagree with that. And I think the way Order is writing it is like he's building up people to be on Rock's side. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And after he said that right there, it's telling Rocks, I'm trying to do this for the betterment of people, and this and that. Rocks, in a moment of rage, yells out, "You soft coward!" And I don't know if it's a beam. I can't tell because, it looks like the back of King Harold, like a beam, like a blast, is shooting from Rocks through King Harold and is hitting him. And Rocks then tells King Harold, he says, the talks are off and I'm not inviting you to join me again. And King Harold says, you know what? I'm the king. I can't align my country and my people with the likes of you. You a villain. You a criminal. Now, I don't believe Rocks is a criminal. Rocks, the same way Luffy is following his dream and the government see Luffy as a criminal, well, it's the same thing with Rocks. He's accomplishing his goals. He has goals and ambitions that he wants to accomplish, but is meddling in the way with the world government, so they consider Rocks a criminal. So they don't talk for a couple years. A couple years went by, and what happens is that a certain incident. The story says that a certain incident happened before they see each other again. And then its scene switches to God Valley. And we meet the mother of Shanks and Shamrock. And then we see baby Shanks and Shamrock in their cradle. Or the stroller. We see them in their stroller. And she's talking with the elders and the people of the village or the island. And they ask, she said, "Oh, we know they're pretty healthy boys. They have your red hair. And we're going to help you raise them. We know their father isn't around. We're going to be there to help you raise the boys. They're some beautiful, handsome boys." Guys, next chapter is going to be something serious. And I am looking forward to it. Guys, please let me know what is it that you guys think is going to happen next. Comment down below. Like the video if you did. It'll be a great help for the algorithm. Share this video with among your friends and subscribe. 5,000 subscribers. Hooray!